Good morning, all of you, and Sai Ram. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. In previous video, we have started our reproduction chapter. What we have done? We have done what is reproduction, types of reproduction, and types of asexual reproduction. So, before going to start today's lecture, what we are going to do? We will do a quick revision what we have learned in our previous video. So let us start with what is reproduction. What is reproduction? Basically, your reproduction is a process by which you can produce same species young one. That means you can born a new baby. Is this clear to you? If reproduction will not take place, you will not able to birth a new baby. So reproduction is very important for the continuance of species. Is this clear to you? If I will talk about the types of reproduction, basically there are two types of reproduction. Number one, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Is this clear? There are two types of reproduction. Number one, asexual reproduction. Number two, sexual reproduction. What do you mean by asexual reproduction? Asexual reproductions are the reproduction in which you will require only a single parent. There is no need of male and female parent differently. Is this clear? With the help of only a single parent, you can give a birth of new species, new young ones. Is this clear to you? If I will talk about a sexual reproduction, for this you require both male as well as female parent. Is this clear to you? Asexual means you will require only a single parent, and in sexual reproduction you require both male and female parent. Is this clear? Now we have also done types of asexual reproduction. There are different methods of asexual reproduction like budding, binary fission, fermentation. So what do you mean by binary fission? In binary fission, a single parent required. Is this clear to you? Binary fission take place in amoeba. See, this is the image of amoeba. Here, nucleus is there. What will happen after some time? You will see this image like this, and after some time it will divide into two part of amoeba. So like this, binary fission take place. If I will talk about budding, in budding a new bud will produce in the same body like hydra, and after some time it will grow properly and it will produce a different bud, hydra. Is this clear? With this we have done our revision part. Let us start with the today's lecture. The topics which we are going to cover in this video are sexual reproduction, types of sexual reproduction, viviparous animals, oviparous animals. What we are going to cover? We are going to cover sexual reproduction, types of sexual reproduction, viviparous animals and oviparous animals. Let us start. So, sexual reproduction. What do you mean by sexual reproduction? In this mode of reproduction, two individuals, the male and the females, are involved in the production of new individual of their own kind. I told you in asexual reproduction, you require only a single parent. But if we are talking about a sexual reproduction, what do you require? You require two parents. That means one will be female and one will be male. Is this clear? When they both are involved, what will happen? They will produce a new individual of their own kind. They will produce new individual of their own kind. Is this clear? So if a question will come, what do you mean by sexual reproduction? You will write, this is a mode of reproduction in which two individuals like the male and the female are involved in the production of new individual of their own kind. Is this clear to you? Now, both the individual produce reproductive cells. Both the individual produce reproductive cells. They will produce what? They will produce reproductive cells, and these reproductive cells is known as your gametes. Is this clear to you? Both the individual produce reproductive cells. Both the individual produce the reproductive cells, and these reproductive cells is known as your gametes. Is this clear to you? Now, the male gamete. The male gamete, that means that the male reproductive cell is known as your sperm. The male reproductive cell is known as your sperm, whereas the female gamete is called as egg or ovum. Is known as your egg or ovum. The male gamete is called as sperm, while the female gamete is called an egg or ovum. So, what do you mean by sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction is a type of reproduction in which you require two individuals. That means female and male both. Is this clear? And when they are involved with each other, what they will produce? They will produce their own kind of individual new baby. Is this clear? Now, both the individual, that means both male and female, produce what? They produce reproductive cells, and these reproductive cells is known as your gametes. These reproductive cells is known as your gametes. Now, in the male gamete is known as your sperm. The male gamete is known as your sperm, and the female gamete is called as your egg or ovum. The female gamete is called as your egg or ovum. Is this clear to you? Now, the male gamete and female gamete fuse to form a zygote. When the male and female gametes are combined, when the male and the female gametes are combined, what they will produce? They will produce zygote. That means if sperm and ovum combine, they will form a zygote. So, what do you mean by zygote? The zygote is a fusion of male and female gamete. Is this clear to you? The process of fusion of male and female gamete, that means the involvement of fusion of male and female gametes to form the zygote is called fertilization. Basically, the fertilization is a process in which the male and female involve with each other and they will form a zygote. So this whole process is known as your fertilization. What do you mean by fertilization? The process of fusion of male and female gametes to form the zygote is called fertilization. Is this clear? The zygote grows into an embryo which grows into an individual. When zygote will grow, zygote will grow in a embryo, and after that this zygote is grow as an individual. Is this clear to you? Now I am reading this slide once more time. Listen carefully. In this mode of reproduction, two individuals, the male and females, are involved in the production of new individual of their own kind. Both the individual produce reproductive cells called gametes. The male gamete is called a sperm, while the female gamete is called egg or ovum. The male and female gametes fuse to form the zygote. The process of fusion of male and female gametes to form the zygote is called fertilization. The zygote grows into an embryo which grows into an individual. Is this clear? Now, If we are talking about the types of fertilization, depending on the way how fertilization take place, it can be classified into two types. That means if we are talking about types of fertilization, there are two types of fertilization. Number one, external fertilization. Number two, internal fertilization. There are how many types of fertilization? There are two types of fertilization. Number one, external. Number two, internal. Is this clear to you? Now, what do you mean by internal fertilization? What do you mean by internal fertilization? In this type of fertilization, the fusion of the male and female gametes take place outside the body of the female. In internal, what do you mean by external fertilization? See, the external word itself says outside. Clear? External, what indicates? External indicates outside. So, in this types of fertilization, the fusion of male and female gametes take place outside the body of the female. That means outside, not inside. Example, eggs of fish, frogs and starfish. That means in these animals, the fertilization takes place outside of the female body. Is this clear to you? Now, next is internal fertilization. Internal itself indicates inside the body. Internal itself indicates inside the body. So, in this type of fertilization, the fusion of male and female gametes take place inside the female's body. Inside the female body. In the case of bird, mammals, reptiles and human being also. Is this clear? That means in external fertilization, the fertilization takes place outside the female body. It doesn't mean that they don't require female and male separately. They require, but the fusion, after the fusion, whatever egg they will produce, they will grow outside the female body. They don't require the female body. But if we are talking about the internal fertilization, in this type of fertilization, the fusion of male and female gametes take place inside the female's body. Clear? Example, your birds, mammals and reptiles. Is this clear? Now, if we are talking about oviparous and viviparous animals, what they are? On the basis of the way of reproduction, animals can be categorized into two parts. Number one, oviparous and number two, viviparous. Animals which lay eggs are called oviparous. That means which lay eggs. Which lay eggs are called oviparous. Animals which lay eggs are called oviparous animals like your hen, frog, lizard, fish, etc. While those that give birth to the young ones are called viviparous, like cow, ducks, animals, etc. Is this clear? So, on the basis of reproduction, you can characterize animals into two parts. Number one, oviparous and number two, viviparous. Oviparous are those. Ovi means egg. So, those animals which lays eggs are called oviparous, like your lizard, frog, hen, fish, etc. While those that give birth to young ones are called your viviparous animals, like mammals, cow, dogs, etc. Is this clear? So see, pigeon, these are the oviparous and these are your viviparous. I think with this everything is clear to you. I am going very slow. If you are having any doubt, you can text me, you can call me, I will clear you. Okay, thank you and Sairam.